This week is Gimmel Tamuz. We commemorate the Yahrtzeit of the Lubavitcher Rebbe, Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson of blessed memory. The Rebbe passed away 15 years ago on the 3rd of the month of Tammuz in 1994. In 1992, during an international conference of Chabad emissaries, the Rebbe stated what his aim was. He wanted that each and every person in this generation should prepare themselves, their place, the world around them, to greet Mashiach, to make it ready for the Messiah, for Mashiach to come. How do we do that? The Baal Shem Tov, who was the founder of the Hasidic movement, once said the following. He said that there is a tzaddik and a Baal Teshuvah. There's the righteous man, and then there's the returnee. And he made an amazing statement. He said that the tzaddik hador, the righteous man of the generation, is a Baal Teshuvah, is a returnee. How is that possible? If he is the tzaddik, then how can he be a Baal Teshuvah? And the Baal Shem Tov explained that the word Baal Teshuvah in this context means the owner of Teshuvah. The owner of Teshuvah means that in a specific generation, the Almighty will implant in that generation a righteous man who will have the keys to open the door of teshuvah, of return to God in that generation. In our generation, this was the Lubavitcher Rebbe. He gave each and every individual in this generation the keys to open up our generation to return to God and re-spiritualize this world in its preparation to greet Mashiach. The Rebbe gave us those keys. He called them the 10 mitzvah campaigns. And they are as follows. The first is the campaign of Ahavas Yisrael, to love a fellow Jew, no matter if you've never seen them before, but you love a Jew because he is a Jew. The second is the Torah campaign. Every person in this generation must have fixed times to study Torah, both by day and by night, and to make it something which is part of your schedule, immovable, essential. The third is chinuch. Chinuch means education. To educate and educate and educate our children, as it says in the Shema, V'shinantam levonecha, teach your children, and Rashi points out, Eilu talmidecha, these are your students. Once, a person was in a private audience with the Rebbe, and the Rebbe instructed him to become a teacher of Judaism, and he said, Rebbe, I only know the Aleph-Bet. And so the Rebbe said, find a Jew who knows an Aleph, and teach him a Bet. Every individual should learn in order to teach. Out there's someone that you can teach. Learn and teach. Tefillin. In 1967, just prior to the Six-Day War, the Rebbe initiated a surprising campaign where people would go out into the streets and lay tefillin with Jewish men. Thousands became acquainted to this mitzvah through this campaign. You can fulfill this campaign by laying tefillin regularly yourself, laying tefillin regularly with somebody who doesn't usually put on tefillin, or providing a person with a pair of tefillin. The next campaign is mezuzah. making sure every Jewish home has the correct number and place where their mezuzahs are. And if you need to have your mezuzahs checked, then to do so. Because on the outside of a mezuzah is written Shin Dalad Yud, one of God's names, which stands for Shomer Dalsos Yisrael, the guardian of the doors of Israel. Have the next campaign a Bayis Molis Forim, a house full of books. Because if you've got basic Jewish books at home, the likelihood is you will read them. Make sure you have in your home a Chumash, a 5 books of Moses, a Siddur, a prayer book, and other books of Jewish law and practice. Kashrut is the next campaign, keeping kosher at home and whilst eating out. Taharas HaMishpacha, Jewish family purity, so essential to Shalom Bayit, to peace in the home today. Make sure that you are acquainted with the mikveh laws. Make sure to keep them. They're healthy for you and for your children and for your relationships. Neshek is the next campaign, Neirot Shabbat Kodesh, candle lighting on Friday night and on Yom Tov. The candle of God is the soul of man. Those little candles that you kindle on Friday night can kindle and illuminate your soul and your home. And finally, tzedakah, the charity campaign. Every day, give a few pennies to tzedakah, and out of your wage, give as much as you can, at least a tenth, to charity, if not more. Those, said the Rebbe, are the keys to open up the souls of this generation in its path of return to God, preparing this generation to greet our righteous Mashiach Tzidkenu in the merit of our holy leader and revered spiritual mentor, the Rebbe. May we, all of us, merit the coming of Mashiach, the rebuilding of the third temple in Jerusalem, the ingathering of the exiles, and the re-spiritualization of the world, so that Umala Haaretz, the world will be full of the knowledge of God as the waters cover the sea. May it happen soon, speedily, in our days. Amen.